Hi guys. There's no point to this. There is no meeting. There's nothing to say. What's longed for is what's happening. It's breathing, seeing, hearing. The wanting to know is this. There's nothing to say. Nothing's coming right now. Edit. You want to say something?
Yeah, really, there is nothing to add. This meeting doesn't go anywhere. This doesn't lacking anything. This is already freedom unconditionally. There is already no one who can die, who can realize this. It will never happen. Nothing will ever happen. There is no next, no future. It's only this. Whatever is appearing is this. This unconditional freedom for no one. That you can't never experience. You are not separate from it. So you can't know it. You can't get it. It's nothing that me can use to make me better, to make my life better, to improve my me. You can't use this. It doesn't have any meaning, any purpose, any value. It's really nothing as you, as me. It's all nothing. There is no one. Here is no one. You can't die because you haven't born. And this is already freedom, liberation, looking at you. You can see it as it's seeing you, so to speak. There is no separation. This is already liberation. Woohoo! That's it. This is it.
It's nothing to wait for. It's nothing to wait for. Even though I'm waiting.
Earlier this week, I had a cool thought come about how the conceptual self is made up of just concepts. And so if you pretend for a second that someone came and removed all concepts, then who are you? can't really describe yourself without concepts. You need concepts. I mean, without them, I mean, you can give it a try. I tried, but I couldn't, you know, it's the me kind of gets pushed up against a wall sometimes with a light on its eye, you know, like shining, who's there? And it's just funny because there's nobody there, actually. And that's it. So this is open. So if anyone has questions, you can just let it go. Whatever you want. We can talk about anything or whatever is feeling like being expressed is totally valid.
The seeking is this. The apparent seeking is this. There is no actual seeker. What even is that? What is a seeker? There's no one that actually seeks. There's apparent seeking, but that's just energy. It's just like a movement. There's nobody. Nobody's doing that. There's no one in seeking. And the seeking is this. It's what's longed for. It's literally everything that's happening. It's what's longed for. No need to. It's stunning. It's fucking stunning. Just yeah. And I'm gonna have to leave in a few minutes too. So here's an early bye. Just being rude.
Yeah. So this is whole and complete. There is nothing missing. But this separate self, the me, is always lacking something. It's always missing something. It's never enough. But this me is this missing part. It can't never feel enough. It doesn't exist. It's the absence, longing for absence. But this is already the case. But for the me, this can't be it. This can't be the case. There are wrong thoughts. There are wrong feelings. I don't see that this is liberation. But everything is this. Even this feeling of separate, feeling that this isn't it, this can't be it, is also what's happening apparently, and is this. So you can't change this, you can't jump out from this. There's no time. It's timeless, this. So nothing will ever happen. It doesn't happen in the future, this liberation. This is already liberation.
And that's not a concept. You can just say, this is liberation all day till you're blue in the head, you know.
Yeah, it can't be understood, it can't be grasped. As the me is the concept, all it can see is the concept. All it can see is the duality.
It lives in its own little separate world, its own little separate circle, little wheel. It keeps on going and going. And it's just funny even talking about it because we're talking about something that's not even there. There is no me. So just even talking about it in a way kind of gives it a reality, but it's not there.
there is apparent me and nothing wrong with that. It is just what is apparent happening. It doesn't happen with anyone. It is just what's arising. And this is perfect. This is whole. As there isn't anything else than this.
Has anybody here ever experienced the future before?
Only in my head.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to think about.
Mm-hmm.
The me lives in something else. Always something else, something next, something better. Can't be this, something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for me because I know I can't do anything, but I still have thoughts saying, like, what can I do? What can I do? But I know I can't do anything. And so I don't know. It's like gridlock in my brain. It's like, it's frustrating, but it's also like, it is what it is. So,
yeah. And that can be like really frustrating.
mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's like pure frustration.
Yeah. I'm like, why isn't something happening? And yeah. And is it going to start happening now? Yeah.
And those are just thoughts that arise. You know, you're not even thinking those things. That's just what comes up. And it's a funny joke because that's it. Those thoughts coming up, that intense feeling of,
fuck, and then
why don't I understand
fears,
this?
Yeah, and fears about like, well, what if this never happens? And what if I'm just wasting my time? And
nothing
I can put your fears at ease. It won't happen. and it will happen, but here's the catch is like, we're just talking about concepts right now. Time is just a concept. So without time, will it happen or won't it?
Hey, Bobby.
I don't know, man. There's just no knowing. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I struggle with time too. I feel like it's so conditioned that it's really hard to get my mindset out of that. Or even like when you said there's no time, that's just it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard to grab onto something.
Christine, nothing will ever happen. So when there is waiting something to happen, is this what's happening? Apparently, waiting happening. No one's doing it.
That's helpful. Yeah, because I just that just makes me want to give up. You know what I mean? Which is probably a good thing.
Yeah. But you can't give up even because there is no you to give up. It's so hopeless.
Yeah.
It is what it is. When it's waiting apparently.
Yep.
I think we put a subtle value judgment on the arising of the me. That when it's apparent that we're on the hamster wheel of the me, there's a thought that comes up that says, it's not supposed to be that way. There's something wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm wondering if the question, what if it's supposed to be that way, this way? I mean, it's this. What if this is how it's supposed to be?
No, don't.
Everything is as it is.
Don't let the me hear you say things like that. There's no way this is it. But yes,
right,
what
exactly.
What if somehow this is okay? I don't. This is like
whatever it is.
I can't. Uncomprehendable. There's so much shit.
There's an explicit assumption to everything we're saying that it's okay.
Everything, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything is okay. Nothing wrong with anything.
I mean, everything's okay.
With all the questions.
There's an explicit assumption in every word that we say. It's like we can't even get away from it. there's an assumption that there's someone there talking, and like here it feels like there's someone, you know, but like who's.
But in the context of a meeting like this,
Sure,
or in
sure,
the context of approaching
Dennis Benfield.
excuse me?
just gonna mute. Okay, we're good.
In the context of there is no non-duality, but assuming that whatever is being pointed to is this, then isn't this what it's supposed to be? Couldn't be anything else.
Of course, this is it.
That's what we've been
We're
saying
here.
this whole time. This is it.
We did it. Game over.
There is nothing more to add, nothing
Oh,
more
I'm
to
sorry.
say.
What did you do?
Game beginning
done.
too.
What did you do? I mean, if you know, tell us. What did you do? You said we're here and we did it. Yeah,
Well,
but for real though, that's it. Yeah, for real. By the way, any questions? Put them in chat too, if you'd like.
You know, I think Steve makes a good point, because many times in teachings or and so on, there's always kind of an implicit pejorative tone about the me, and in a way, and I hear that very often, and I know people try and deconstruct the me, and there's lots of teachings about this or that, but the question of should it be there? The answer is, of course it should be there, because it is. And that's the answer. How do you know it should be there? Because it's what is. And if you stop right there, there's that relaxation. Yeah, that's what's apparently there as well.
exactly.
And is it seemingly there? It's apparently there, and that's what is.
Who's to say it shouldn't be there?
Yeah, and that's a good point, Casey, because again, in a lot of the so-called teachings out there, it's that, again, it's like, oh, it almost implies we must get rid of it, do something with it, but it's not there anyway. It's not really there. And so the sort of the pejorative tone that we often hear makes it seem like it's a bad thing. No, it's just what is.
Yeah, that's why these teachings are misleading, apparently, because they are saying that you can do something. You can get rid of me. It's a duality. Teaching comes from duality, but this isn't a teaching. This isn't a concept. This isn't an idea. This is it. The sense of me is it. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing to get rid of.
It's like the peace and joy is unexplainable because the me isn't there, sure. And these are all concepts, but like still here, there's like this implicit, I want to get rid of that me still. Is it still hanging around back there somewhere? You know, where are those thoughts coming from? It's just thoughts, you know, and it's not fun and games all the time.
But when thoughts are seen as empty, not separate, just what's happening, then there is no owning or claiming or feeling that, oh, this thought is now real, this thought is mine. All thoughts are empty.
Yeah.
No thoughts are yours. There is
What's
no
a thought
you.
even? Who invented a thought? It's like, what is that actually? If we just destroy the definition of a thought, what's a thought?
Nothing.
I mean, thoughts are made of language. It's so shallow. It's like when I moved to another country for a while, my dreams changed. At night, I would dream in Spanish and sign language and stuff like that. And the dreams kind of adapted with wherever, and it just changes, you know. But who's doing that? Yeah. Thanks, Harvey and Steve.
You're welcome.
You keep going too. Not shutting you off anything.
Laura Chris is asking from chat, what's resonance, intuition, same or 3 dots, and thanks. I would say that resonance is this, there is a resonance or isn't, openness, readiness for this. Intuition, I don't know what this is. There isn't anyone separate to have intuition. I'm not sure if I know this word actually in English, but it's some like action for something for action, intuition. Or Casey, you can talk better in English.
Yeah, it sounds, yeah. Intuition is just, for me, I guess it's like something that you just know somehow, but you don't know how you know it. And that's, for lack of a better word, you know.
It can be a feeling about something that you have.
Yeah, I guess
An
there can be
impression.
apparent intuition.
Mm-hmm. And that can be anything, absolutely anything.
It's no one's intuition, so to speak.
Yeah, everything that. So yeah, I don't know what resonance or intuition is, but it seems to happen. I used to think I had intuition or that I was resonating with something. Maybe you could say that's what changed.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Hadar.
Hi. Hi.
Hadar? Hi.
Yeah. Hi. How are you?
Good.
For a while I was thinking that the voice in my head, it was my voice, until I discovered that the voice, the talk in the head, it's not my talk. But it's, you know, but it seems like you're so used to hear the voices and the talk of the thoughts that you think it's actually your voice. So when yeah.
Isn't that special?
But
it's adorable.
It's funny because you're so used to have it in your head, supposedly in your head, so you think it's your voice. It's actually your voice talking, and then suddenly you say, yeah. Then you look and say, but this is it my voice? It's it's like just, you know, and then you see that you hear other people's voices also. It's not only your voice, it's everybody's voices.
Yeah, don't look too closely. It'll split into multiple sometimes.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a whole board of review up there, and there'll be like a head. And then you're like, wait, which one am I? Oh, they're all me.
That was my first discovery, that I was actually just saying, what's there? I hear everybody's voices, but where is my voice? Like, why I hear everybody's voices? And everybody's talking, you know, all the voices that talk to me every day, and people's comments and everything. It's like, what's this big mess, you know, in the head? And then you ask, where is my voice actually? And there is no voice. Where is my voice? It's not there. Nothing. It's just like recorder, you know, like tape recorder of something.
Like an audiobook.
Yeah. It's just running there. And then it's like you've seen since a long time, you think, yeah, it's my voice. I'm talking. And no.
Yeah, it's natural, man, you know?
Yeah, but when
there's
you
nothing
don't
wrong with thoughts. It's natural. Apparently.
But when you don't know it, you think really like it's my voice. I'm talking there.
Yeah. That's the illusion, for sure.
Yeah.
The illusion of separation. Thoughts seem to do a great job at making people think that they each have their own separate thoughts or something. But who has confirmed anyone else's thoughts? Truly, because, you know, they can say, I was just thinking that too, but
yeah. Who was the one that's thinking? Like, what is it? If you don't have a concept about it.
Which board of review member in your head was the one who just said that, please? Could you identify that?
If you don't have any idea or a concept, there's nobody to say anything. Like, you have to have like built up an idea about something or a concept, then you can say, I said it, but it's not even yours. Like, where is it? It's nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. If thoughts are yours, then tell me what is your next thought. You don't know what is your next
You don't
word
know.
even.
Yeah. So it's a surprise now. Now it's a surprise. Like what's gonna come up now?
Or when there is
Yeah.
complete
Woohoo!
emptiness, and then it's try to remember something. Where are
Yeah.
the thoughts? Then so you don't know how to think even. Thinking
Right.
happens apparently. No one's thinking.
Right. And before I was like the thoughts told me like you have to do this, or there is this we think like instructions, like you have to do this or that, like the mind is built on instructions, like believe in instructions. And then when you stop believing that you are these instructions actually, because you think you have to obey that, and then like, and then I said, what I will do without all these things, if I don't have instruction, what I will do, I'm just going to sit there. And then you see that it just come naturally. You don't have to do anything. And then you have like a pop-up thought, like just going there, or just I feel like doing that. Like it's just feel like doing that. There's no, I have to, or not like I need to. It's just like, you're just there. And then something say, oh, I'm going to do that. Like, but it's coming really naturally, like just what you feel like doing. And if you, even if it's an obligation to do something, it just comes naturally. Like there's no like this say, go do that, or you have to do that in the head. Like it's just a surprise. Like it's coming when it needs to come as a surprise. So it's really working.
Life's already been happening without you.
Yeah, it's working by itself.
You just think you're doing it or something. Yeah. That was beautiful. Thank you. Yeah.
And you don't even feel like you're doing these things. Like they're coming really like you're enjoying doing them, and it's coming really naturally. It's like you don't have any real obligation, and it comes in the right time. When you need to do it, you're just doing it without even seeing that you did it.
Yeah, and you haven't done anything, never.
No. That was the hard part. Yeah.
Maybe you had the thought that I am the controller, and I am the doer, and I am the decider and chooser.
That was
but you
very
never
heavy.
did. Yeah.
It's very heavy. Like you think you're doing like, and you don't do nothing, and you really think you're doing. This is like the heaviness of every action you do when you have this feeling. Like everything feels so heavy because I'm the one that's doing it. It's like application. Yeah, it's the application is running very, very strongly on an energy, but nothing is really nothing is happening really. So this is the heaviness, like I had to do it, or wow, I did so many things. Yeah.
Well,
but when it's seen that there is no one, then it's clear that no one ever did anything difficult or heavy.
I could not see that there was no one there until that I just start to separate that this identity of the thought or the talk or even the body, like all this, it had for in here, it happened slowly, like say, oh, it's not that. Oh, it's not that. And then I saw I cannot even identify, there is nothing. And just, if it's not that and that and that, then there was like, I cannot say what is it, just that. So, yeah.
Of course, you can't know.
No.
It's impossible to know this, but of course, me tries to know this because me is the knower. And this happens by itself. No one's doing this. So no one can stop trying to know, trying to understand.
It's like an activity. It's an activity that runs by itself. And it feels alive for itself, but it's on nothing. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve, you wanted to say something?
Cameron.
I'm not sure. I'm
Oh,
not
there we
sure
go.
how relevant this is, but I think I'm reminded of the headless way of Douglas
Headless
Harding,
way. Yeah.
where there's a tendency when you say I think, or it's in my head, or to the concept of who you are tends to have something to do with what your head looks like, I think, in a lot of instances. And Harding pointed out, and of course this was a methodology, so I'm not extending it to his methodology, but he pointed out that you really never see your head. No one's ever seen their head. You might look in a mirror.
Yeah, that doesn't count though.
Okay, or look at a video, or maybe you even on a Zoom.
Yeah,
But you're not looking at,
Yeah.
you might be able to see like the tip of your nose, maybe. But that's it. So you're really
I see it.
never looking at
Ah.
yourself. Maybe you could see your hands,
It's like
but there's
yeah. It's like
no
a dream.
appearance of yourself to you. And yet you construct this whole thing about who and what you are and how you look and the whole, and you never see it. It's never seen.
Yeah, Alan Watts have said also the same. It's very beautiful. Like you can watch your toes, your knees, and then it's some blurry nose maybe, but
You don't know it's all attached to a head. Where's your head at? Like you can't. Your eye. Yeah. And what's funny is in the story when you're making video games, there's so many parallels when you're making these 3D video games to this. I guess you're a lot of times like your character in the game, it's actually empty because that's the fastest way to do it. You don't waste memory and stuff. So if you kind of go in debug mode and you zoom out the camera from your character, there's no one. It's literally just empty space. And then there's like an arm floating and another arm floating, and if it's a gun, maybe there's a gun floating. And then the camera, the character is right where his head, where your camera is for your character. It's right here somewhere apparently. But no, it's just so funny because it starts to crack, like the illusion starts to crack a little bit, like, oh shit.
But what's more real than who you think you are at any point in time? I mean, is the table more real than who you think you are? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as who you think you are drops, all of your definitions and anything you thought was something or another seems to fall. Because where did they come from? Where's the source of those? I thought it was there. You told me that last week. Don't you remember? There's just no knowing.
Oh,
there's no knowing.
Let me just, something comes to mind. Since last week, when we were talking about Chat GPT, the originator, is it Sam Altman, Harvey? Is he the originator? He went before Congress and asked that they regulate.
Oh, wow.
He went before the US Congress and said, this could be potentially harmful. It could do great things, but we need regulation. Which was him getting ahead of the whole story so that he gets to participate in how they regulate him. I know there's a motive behind that, but I thought that was interesting.
I agree with you, Steve. That statement was his way of saying, okay, maybe we need regulation, but he himself, they're moving right ahead. That was a competitive ploy, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
That was a smart move.
Yeah, very smart.
Here's the problem, though, with that. Skynet has already begun.
Right.
The AI that people are worried about, how is that different than what's going on here? Like, I can't wait for this AI to become like these real lifelike human characters, which I don't know if I will. It's all a story. It's all a dream, but holy shit, what if I'm not real? You know, what if I'm not here? You can create AI now that look very real, talk, you know, but like, where's the confirm? Where's the confirmer of who is what? Ah, God damn it. You know those old terminal computers? Harvey or Steve? They used to have computers where there was like a mainframe computer and then you just have a bunch of terminals, like displays plugging into it. But it seemed like they were all maybe separate computers. Each separate person could go on the separate computer. That's a silly analogy, I guess, but yeah, there's not really separate computers. Those are just monitors plugging into the main computer. But it's just not what it seems, I guess. Really seems like we're here on a Zoom, you know. Thoughts arising and stuff. So welcome to Skynet. This is the future. The new future is no time. And that's how it's always been.
I still have a problem with time. I mean, I get that there isn't any.
Do you? Because I don't get it. But I feel keep talking.
That's the problem. That's the problem. But it's supposed to be that way.
If I ever hear supposed to be, I just I can't help but laugh. It's because who's to say? Even if it's you saying it's supposed to be, but what's that even? What's a you? Hey, Katriana. Hey.
Hi. I tried to come
Petra.
earlier, but I just made it. Sorry.
Ah, cool. No worries. No worries. You didn't make it, actually. Sorry to tell you.
So Casey, quick question. Or actually, really, this is for any of the speakers. Tony Parsons occasionally talks about contracted energy. And I was wondering if, any of you had more to say on that topic, as far as like the contracted energy dropping away and just the realization that this isn't actually happening. Just that's something that's been wondering about.
Energy seems to be a word used commonly. Yeah. I mean, you could say that this whole thing is a contraction. and it doesn't go away. But it also does, right? Like and that's a story. In the story, the contraction can fall. Sure. Yeah. And it can come back, but yeah, when it's seen that there's just what this whole thing is this big contraction, that's actually just a concept. There's no contractions. Because what is that? Like, who invented all the words again? Was it something Webster? I mean, that's, it's a joke, but like, yeah, someone invented those concepts and words, and there's just no knowing. So yeah, there seems to be some energetic thing, and it can get crazy. And then just kind of not even fade away because it wasn't there in the first place. So, yeah.
Okay, interesting. And do you think that listening to this message makes a difference, or do you think that's just kind of another story that seems to get told a lot at some of the meetings?
I mean, the me thinks this makes a difference. Yeah.
Okay.
At least that's what it seems here.
Yeah.
And it does. in time, right? In time, which is a story or a concept. There's no knowing what that is. Or what this is. There's just simply no knowing what this is. And, it can be relaxing, I guess. When you can't, this is where words fail. When you give up, it can be relaxing. But do you sit down and choose on the couch? Like, I've been doing this. Okay, I'm going to choose to give up.
I've tried. It doesn't seem to work.
It does.
Here I am, right?
Because you've given up. The guy trying to give up is now saying, I'm giving up, but that's reinforcing that there's someone there. It's just life, and energy saying, fuck this shit. This doesn't make any sense. I think I've broken things at times in the story. Like, I think I pounded my keyboard once.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's just truly frustrating.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, I've had multiple moments where I thought I was just throwing in the towel and I was going to go do something else. And then like the next day I'm back to watching the videos again on YouTube. And yeah, it's just really disheartening, but it is what it is, I guess.
I think the issue of the notion of contracted energy was used primarily as a metaphor, but also it connected with the whole feeling. And Tony often would go like this to indicate a contraction of muscles from tension. But at the same time, when he talks about energy, he's talking about everything and nothing. And I don't think, and he also used at one point, he said, well, you could say it's all marmalade.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it's just, it's another point. It's like another point. The way
I mean, there's, it's all marmalade because there's nothing to hold on to, truly. So this, it may seem in common, maybe other speakers.
Well, when you hear in a story was felt this contracted energy, I don't know what the contracted energy is, but the closest feeling for that is when somebody hurt you and there is this pain and feeling inside that, I got so hurt, it hurted me so bad. And then there was this feeling that me, but in other times there was no recognition that there is somebody. And when this so-called this illusion collapsed, it wasn't recognized months that there isn't anyone.
Thanks, Christine, by the way, too. Great question. And Steve. Yeah.
Right.
So hey.
My turn. There was nothing to add and then I walked out, got some warm clothes on, and then you listen to the conversation. So
Yeah.
there's only frustration because there's this idea that there's something to get. When was there in anybody's life you actually ever got something? You think you're a baby, young child, teenager. There's nothing ever that you can get hold of. It just, everything's always disappearing, arriving, disappearing. There's nothing that is ever, nobody's ever got anything. Even if there was someone there, but I don't know what I'm saying.
That's a good point, though. That is helpful.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just what's like, oh, there's some words to come out, and that's all.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess this collapse may happen when it's heard enough in a story that it's nothing, there is nothing to get. It's like Emerson have said, this brick wall constantly banging the head, trying to get this, but there is nothing to get.
The other picture that came to my mind is a toddler who's so excited about life. They might still be eating their food, they're awake, and suddenly they fall asleep. And this is a bit like that, because it doesn't matter how much I'm staying awake. No, it's the other way around. Kids want to stay awake and then suddenly they fall asleep. But this can be like that as well. All this frustration suddenly just poof, out of nowhere can just fall asleep. It's almost like that falls asleep.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That's
Exactly. Yeah, and when you're asleep, you don't know it, right? If you're
don't
dreaming,
know.
you don't know it usually.
No.
Even if you think you know it in a dream, you have some kind of awakening.
Hello, Katriana.
Who knows? Who knows in that dream? That dream character you think you are isn't. It goes away when you wake up. Apparently.
I mean, what's this, for the fuck's sake? What's this?
I don't know.
A screen, faces.
But it's kind of fun though. Why not? Yeah. I got so upset when I saw people happy. We're like, it seems like you get this. All right.
I used to feel the same way too, almost as though they have something that you don't have, when all it ever is just it.
Yeah.
And like coming to these meetings too is sometimes, like when Emerson first asked me to come and be a nobody, I was like, what? No, I can't, because my expression is not the way that you all express them. You create story upon story about this. Is it not? It's apparently, like, whatever.
Stories are created automatically. You're not creating those stories. Don't give yourself that credit.
But it's
I mean,
so,
you're not even doing that either.
It's so frustrating, because you tell yourself that if it's not expressed in the way that it's seen, you start to compare sometimes, and that's part of it too. That's the energy that you're telling yourself you're not it, because you're comparing it to something else. But how's that even happening? It's not just like it is, basically. And you're trying to figure out, but you can't figure it out. So your mind is just going in loop and loop and loop. But the key is in the words that you choose too, right? You keep saying your mind, I think. And those are so empty. It's just thinking. It's just thoughts. Like, it's not yours, but you try to own it constantly. And that's what a thought does. It just loops upon itself, telling itself that it is it being that thought, but it's just a thought. Full stop.
Full stop.
Yeah, like nothing to know. You want to know though, so the you wants to know.
The me wants to know. Yep.
It wants to be it. So
It wants to be real,
Yeah.
right? If you don't know anything, you're just insignificant. And what is that? Insert definition here. If you don't know anything, you're pretty dumb. I'm pretty dumb, I think.
It's so true, right? And in a world
That was a thought.
Exactly. And in a world that prizes being smart and knowing, to be dumb and to know nothing is like the ultimate sin. And this time you're like, well, I don't know. Who the hell cares?
How you gonna
if
know?
don't
How you gonna know when to be dumb, dude? That sounds like an effort. Just be
I
dumb.
actually felt
Just be
freest when
dumb.
people ask questions and you're like, I don't know. I don't know.
Somehow, without knowing, like the answers can still come, and you know,
Or they don't.
or don't, and then on the other end, there's no other end. They're satisfied with what you said, and then on this end, you're like, "What the hell did I just say?" But there's no other ends. There's no other end.
No.
That's just the dream that's going on, apparently.
And
Full of
in
everything.
this story, at least, in this story, it's almost as though if this supposed separate character doesn't have the answer and some supposed other separate character has the answer, that's me too. So it doesn't really make a difference if it's coming from this supposed character or that supposed character. They're both it. Who the hell cares? But the separation then creates another story about, oh, I'm not the one who answered. I don't know anything. Poor me. But no. That's it. Like, this character expresses it in that way. And sometimes, again, it creates a comparison, supposedly, of it being right or wrong. And there's no right or wrong. They're both perfect, exactly as it's expressing. And I'm not, well, I won't call names, but I feel as though if I hear someone say, when will I be like you? It's so easy to say, see, you're already just like me. You think you're not, but that's it again. You think.
Yeah, yeah. Rosa, I've seen you before, I think. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I actually can't say anything. Here's just
No one's
full
here.
on energy. Yeah, it's just, just like everything is marmalade, like Tony says. Here is the same. It's the same, but it's, it just
Here everything's donuts.
Boundless. There are no boundaries, This is so
No
lovely.
boundaries.
Yeah, and it's really absolutely I don't know. There is no difference between anything. No matter if it's shit or beautiful or you. It's like as if I'm talking with myself now, not knowing who I am. And this is, I don't know, this is such full on. I just got here, it's expressed like full on life, but it also can be totally, crap.
Either way, it's full on.
Yeah, either way, it's full
8K.
on. Yeah. And,
UHD.
these days there was a lot of mind fuck. And this was so beautiful in a way, so empty. And just crazy, lovely, crazy.
Yeah. It's hard. It's undescribable.
Yeah, you can name it as as you
it's
want.
Hard of trying to describe it. If you need to,
I don't know. It's so. Yes. It's just this.
It's just this.
And this and this and this and this. And not this, and who cares?
Not this, not this and this and not that.
Yeah. not
Gross.
that.
No. It's
Oh, lovely. Thanks for sharing this energy.
Thanks, Rosa. Where do
Mwah.
you live?
In
Mwah.
Germany.
Oh,
Mwah.
cool.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I have to go to the bathroom.
No probe.
What did
Yeah.
Emerson call it though? He had a much fancier name. Oh, the washroom. I'll be back. I'm going to the washroom.
I just want to say thanks everyone for doing this. It's just really great listening to all of you. And it feels helpful even if no one's doing it.
Yeah, this is really beautiful. Great
Yeah,
energy.
definitely.
Eric, I just want to say I love you.
Hi, love you too. Here is full-on tiredness.
Yeah, I can sense this from here. You
Yeah,
look beautiful.
thank you.
Every time I watch your videos, it's like, oh, you know, so I just love this. Totally. In love. In love. Oh. So
In
beautiful.
love in this.
Yeah,
In love in
whatever.
this. Yeah.
Don't know. It's just like, wow. Yeah. Mm.
And zero knowing about what's going to happen. Like, is there any other meeting comings or any other video comings? No idea. It can, yeah, everything can happen. And nothing have a meaning or purpose. So it can be either way. It's okay, so to speak, for no one.
Yeah. Totally. Totally. This is such a joke.
So there's no reason or meaning or purpose to talk about this.
No.
And it's
What
this,
are we talking about?
yeah, nothing. Because it's already done. It's already full and complete as it is.
Yeah.
With me or without me.
Totally.
With
Totally.
seeking or
Totally.
or the seeking crashes. And
Absolutely.
there is no
And
seeking.
this is so obvious. This is so fucking obvious, you know? But not for me.
Exactly, yeah. You can't say what's obvious because there is no knowing.
It's so crazy. God. Catherine, I just want to say that the way you express it is also very beautiful. Very, I don't know, love this energy there too. And so simple, you know?
Yes,
the simplicity of nothing and everything.
I'll say thank you, but without really knowing what has been said, you know. I'll have to rewatch it when it's recorded.
No, it's not about the words, you know. It's actually just about this.
Thank
and
you.
It's the resonance. If we go back to the energy, it's just the dance. It's just a beautiful dance, you know. Just yeah.
Catherine, I've watched your one-on-one with Emerson multiple times now.
I'll have to watch it. it's just what appeared at that point. It looks like it means something, it's like, oh, but it's the same as waking up in the morning or going to sleep at night. It's just,
Well, maybe it's the same for you. That's not how I wake up in the morning.
no, but I mean, it's no different. It's
Okay.
no different. What's
I hear you.
expressed. Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
No different than making a cup of tea or brushing the hair. And if somebody makes a joke, we laugh, and it's whatever chat I had with Emerson, something just responded a certain way, and I can't even remember. It's living. Yeah, sorry.
I couldn't remember. Sorry, I couldn't remember either. But here's simply the sense of this simple not knowing. It was so obvious. The energy was of not knowing. The game with Emmy or what. When I saw you, I don't know when it was, and or what exactly it was. But this was always this not knowing. Just words coming out of not knowing, and this is so, this is the simplicity. It's just not known. Yeah, that's the energy, actually.
Yeah. I thought of how everything seems to appear, and one of the appearance is newspapers and tabloid newspapers. Big drama there, and it's so much the newspaper is just like, I'm not good enough. Oh, I can be better, and oh my gosh, that person did that. Oh, they shouldn't have, that's a newspaper, and the tabloid newspaper, and it's all about knowledge and knowing. I think, how what appears just appears as that.
My love, sorry for interrupting, but here is not happening reading newspapers or tabloids for a long time. Maybe because the stories are too much.
I never read newspapers. That just comes up. They sell in shops. That's what I know. I never read newspaper.
Sure, that's the game. That's the game.
But here there's still an interest in what's going on. I don't know. This can still be an attraction.
Preference
to what's coming my way. It's like, I better get ready. But it's crazy. At the same time, it happened, and then 5 minutes after that, you just go and wash the pots. It's still so full on, but there can still be that attraction to a position, I guess. There might still be a position of looking at life or believing certain things rather than others. But so what? So what?
Yeah, it doesn't stick. Everything is appearing here. It's not sticking. It's like, poof, 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 and it's kind of funny or very sad sometimes. But it's simply, it's just like, wind, empty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's sleepiness here as well. Somehow there's going to sleep late and then getting up early, which is new. Being more busy, being more active, it's true that there's a lighter, life is lighter, or the life, you know what I mean, is energy is freed. It does feel that its energy is freed, it's not constricted. There was that feeling of tightness, and it's like
Yeah, such a,
yeah. It's just that is that freedom, and everything still happens, you know, talking to people and
Catherine, let me add. Yeah, everything
apparently.
still happens. Yeah, everything still happens, but very full on. Oh shit. This is really much
but
too
Cool.
full on.
yeah. But even when it's full on, it's still light.
Yeah.
It's still
Yes.
light. It's like
Yes.
you blow up, you know, you have
Yeah,
a
what the hell?
disagreement with someone and you blow up and then
And it's gone like the next moment.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm supposed to be upset. What? And like, what just happened? I'm just raw. I'm mad. Yeah. Yeah. And you like work yourself up, right? You get those thought trains. Yeah, I can't believe they did that to me.
I think if I remember when I was reading Eckhart Tolle, like I can't remember if it's a decade or more ago now, and I think he was talking about that this everything slips off. There's no hooks, so nothing can hook up onto you because everything just slips off. But it might have been somebody else. It might not have been Eckhart Tolle.
I don't know, but that, yeah, I like that.
Could have been Muji or
Yeah, it kind of slips.
yeah.
Doesn't stick as easy. Yeah.
Well,
Like
you
a duck.
can't because there's nothing to.
Or
You can't
maybe,
catch nothing, can you?
or
You can't.
maybe
You
there,
can have
there
a
is no,
hook. There's nothing.
there
Yeah,
is no,
Rosa.
there
Yeah.
is no, there is no blah 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 blah. No.
Yes.
I think yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Blah 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 blah.
Chirp, 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 chirp.
Yeah, and
Tweet, tweet.
it's just
Tweet,
I don't know the thoughts.
Tweet, tweet, tweet. Does it sound like we're saying something? We're communicating the energy. Whoa. All right. Perfect time. It's actually time for the breakout room, I think. Eddie, am I right about that? Is it breakout room time? Like, or is it 1 hour meeting? Not getting any answers. It's all right. We're gonna do breakout room now, which is the same thing as what we were doing before, but just end the recording. And feel free to ask questions and come and go as you please. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Bye.
Love you. Love you. Much love.